Okay, in this video we will configure network manually, set up a few FTP services, local repositories, and then we will proceed for creating some storage volumes. So to begin with, I have a few virtual machines, so we will be using these two ones. So I have a local repository created into this virtual machine, and we will be accessing from these. So both of them are in the same network, like internet network and same subnet. And additionally, on this virtual machine I have added one extra volume, storage volume. This is what 10 GB. So let's proceed. So to begin with, we'll jump directly to terminal and let's configure our network first. So this command will show you both all the adapters that are present in your system. So this one is a bridge adapter. As you can see, the type is bridge, and this one is a Ethernet, that is your LAN port. So let's configure this one with some static IP address manually. So to configure that, NMCLI connection modifier, connection name, then IPv4 dot addresses, IPv4 dot addresses, that should be 172.31.1.2, or let's say 3/24. IPv4 dot method should be manual, connection dot auto connect should be yes, and NMCLI connection up en. So this will restart the network service. Right. So next what we are going to do is so let's see, we have to create a repository before we proceed. So for creating a repository, we have to remove current repository addresses. So let's do that first. So cd2/etc/yum.repos.t directory. If you see here already there are repositories. If you check any of that, so there will be a few parameters. It's parameter name, FTP address. This is a mirror list, or base URL should be there, and GPG key will be there. So let's remove all this. So I'm gonna create a new directory. move all this So there is no repo file now here, so let's create a new one. So parameters should be name, base URL, enabled, GPG check. So we don't have key, so we will disable GPG check. We will enable this. Name can be anything, so you can put my local repo. Base URL should be your URL like FTP colon 172.31.1.1/packages. So now let's clean the existing database. And let's create a new database. So as it's done, if we try to install anything from yum, it should get installed. So our local repository is now enabled. So let's install FTP first. For that you need to install some package, one package called vstpd, and you need a FTP client. So let's install that. Yum install vsftpd. And FTP. So let's install these packages. Now that it is done, we have to make some changes. Let's cd into etc/vsftpd and modify the configuration file. So if you want to allow enable access, so just keep it, or if you even comment this out, it will be allowed. So you have, if you want to disable anonymous access, you have to do it. And then this is a user mask. You should, if you want to mask the permission for someone. So that's all. There are not many parameters in this. So you have to enable and restart this service as well. So for that, command is systemcd and start the service as well. So As soon as this part is done, you have FTP client as well. So there are a few things to be taken care, like SE Linux and firewall. So you have to allow this port into firewall. So firewall D, is the service. Either you can disable this service or just you can add a root exception into that. So command line is firewall cmd minus permanent add service equal to FTP, and you have to reload the firewall to take these changes into effect. So let's reload the firewall. So this is done. Another thing is SE Linux. So this is enforcing, we have to disable this. So this is not permissive. Let's create a file into var FTP directory. So now let's try to connect to self-host and whether it allows to see this file. So this is the thing, by default it does not allow root. By anonymous access you can access it. So this is file 1. So we got this file. Got this file. So this is FTP. Let's create some volumes, right? So we have hard disk, one more additional disk attached. So we have to create a few partitions before that. So we have fdisk dev SDB. On this we don't have any partitions, so let's create some partitions into this. Specify size as 2 gigabits. Let's create one extended. Number 2, first sector should be this, and last sector should be default, new, logical. Partition number 5 should be first sector. Okay. This one 2 gigabits. New, logical, and first sector default plus 3 gigabits. Write the changes. So fdisk minus L will show partitions like this. So let's create partition physical volume with this. Point to be noted here, you cannot use extended partition in here. You have to use either logical partition or this primary partitions for creating physical volumes. So physical volumes are now created. We have to create a volume group. That you specify create VG command, then you specify the name for VG. I'm giving my VG name like anything it can be anything. So you add the partitions into this. STP1 slash dev slash STP5 slash dev slash STP6. So your volume group has been created. So you can create a logical volume into this. Let's say you want to create 1.5 or 1500 megabits partition. So LV create -n should be the name of that partition. My LV1, then you have to specify size, capital L, that should be your size, 1500 megabits. And then your group volume group, that is my VG name. So your my LV1 is created. So let's create one more, my LV2, and this should be 2 gigabytes. 2 gigabytes. Okay, so you have to format this into a file system. So if you have put fdisk command again, you can see additional disk like this one that we had earlier created. And this one. So for formatting this, you can create with XFS or ext4. So let's format them. So this is done. So now we want to mount this. So let's create directories for mounting this. So directories are made. This is also mounted, and this is also mounted. So let's check. So this is one FTP which has 1.4 gigabits, and this is means out of 1.5 some file system will take some space, and this one is another. So our primary partition is this, which is XSFS and 30 gigabits. Then SDA2 is mount point for a phone, which is a small partition. Actually these are virtual machines, so I have given a small space into them. So before we stop this video, let's unmount these partitions. So if you check now, so these are not mounted, but you still can see them in fdisk command. As you can see them. So that's all for now.